Hello, nonprofit leaders. I'm Sarah Olivieri, your host, and this podcast is here to assist people like you, executive directors, board members, and other nonprofit leaders, make a bigger impact with insights, tips, and lessons learned from nonprofit leaders and experts. Having been an executive director, a board member, and now a consultant and coach, I truly understand the challenges you face. And that's why I'm here. I'm all about working smarter, not harder, so you can make a bigger impact without the burnout. And so is our sponsor, DonorBox. DonorBox isn't just a suite of helpful fundraising tools, it's a partner that helps you raise more money and supports you in retaining your donors. I love their forward-thinking approach. Visit donorbox.org to learn more. And don't forget to sign up for the Inspired Nonprofit Leadership newsletter, where you'll get bite-sized, actionable tips just for nonprofit leaders like you, delivered weekly to your inbox. Sign up at inspirednonprofitleadership.com/sign up. Okay, let's dive into today's episode. Today, we're talking about breaking the poverty mindset in nonprofits. And this is an important topic outside of nonprofits as well, but it is particularly pervasive in the nonprofit space. So let's start by talking about what is a poverty mindset. Sometimes it's called a scarcity mindset. And it's the fear that you're not going to have enough. And when we have that fear, we start to conserve or hoard our resources. And it's the opposite of having an abundance mindset. So if you have any of these feelings, it's very likely that they're actually holding you and your organization or even your for-profit business back from reaching its full potential. So I want to go over a few key things with you. First of all, what is the cost of scarcity or poverty mindset? And had a client recently who said that they grew up with this scarcity mindset. And we ended up on this metaphor. I think they shared it originally, that it was like a dam, right? And hoarding up, like collecting all this water so it could be used at some point in case of emergency. But really, the power of water, and especially the power of money, hoarded up money that doesn't get spent, doesn't really have any value at all, other than reducing a little bit of risk potentially of something bad happening. The way money really works is it has to flow like water. Money needs to flow. And so rather than thinking about saving money, we should be thinking about increasing the speed and the total amount of flow. It doesn't have to be speed so much, but the amount that is flowing through our organizations. And the cost of having this scarcity mindset or poverty mindset is that we end up not spending and missing opportunities. We end up not making forward steps because we are afraid to take action. And then we miss opportunities, things that would move us into the future, things that might move the needle on making the impact we're trying so hard. And we become stagnant. And when we become stagnant as organizations, things start to go wrong and we find ourselves very quickly in a disintegrating or fading away, sinking ship type situation. Now, that's not to say that it isn't good to have some money for a rainy day, but that's really more if you are kind of in stability mode. But while you're in growth mode, then we want to be really spending the resource as much that we have in order to grow. And also, it's always important to remember that at the end of the day, businesses don't have to stay alive like people do. So it's a little different dynamic there. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about, we talk about the cost of the scarcity or poverty mindset. It's really you feel like you're saving money, but you're actually losing a lot of money and a lot of opportunity. So the next thing I want to talk about is recognizing the value of investment. So we always want to think about investing money, not spending money, right? So when we let money flow, we could flush it down the toilet. Although, suppose you could make an argument that that's encouraging the flow, right? But for the most part, when we spend money, we're actually getting money in return. So it should feel great to spend money, rather getting with money or impact. Both of those are really good for your nonprofit. We do need to keep them in balance. So we need to keep enough money coming back in. But this is our opportunity to spend $1 and get $4 back, perhaps, right? So always be asking ourselves, what is our return on investment? Not how much is this going to cost us? And then we're just valuing the balance between the return and the initial investment. And this is really key. So when we invest strategically, we're going to get enough money back to fund everything we want to do. And we're going to make the impact that we want to make as well. All right. So, finally, for our little talk today, I want to give you 3 tips on how to create or cultivate a culture of abundance at your organization so that you can climb out of poverty mindset. And just like any transition that involves how we think, because this is money is a total construct, and how we think about money is a construct on a construct, right? So this is real mental work here, brain work, mindset work, if you will. And like any mindset transition, it's going to take repeating. Okay, so here are my 3 tips. Number 1 is lead by example. Don't be afraid to spend. Invest in high quality things, right? If you want a high quality future, invest in high quality now. If you want people to be generous with you in the future, you be generous with people now. I'll tell you, whenever I want more money to come into my life, I start spending. I pay for dinner when I go out with friends. I buy something I've been wanting, and I initiate the flow by sending money out. And that makes mental space for money to come in because I start to realize how much fun it is to make the money flow. Okay, so as a leader, you need to lead by example. Be bold, be generous, spend, invest, use that type of language, use abundance language. My next tip for you is to hold your ground. It's going to take some time, and not everyone is going to transition at the same moment. So you need to keep holding your ground. Do not slip. You may have a board that says, no, we're not going to invest. And you need to have the conversation and be open to conversation, but really hold that line of you're going to bring everybody along with this ride with you. And you're not going to slip back into poverty or scarcity mindset with them. And the last thing, which I already hinted at, is you're going to need to keep repeating yourself. This is a mindset thing that's hard to change. It's going to take some time and lots of repetition. But when you get there, the results for you and your organization are going to be incredible. And I would love to see you there. That's what I have for you today. I hope it was worth waiting the extra hour, or maybe you're watching the replay and it didn't even bother you at all. I'm Sarah Olivieri, best-selling author, former nonprofit leader, founder of multiple nonprofits and for-profits, and it is my pride and joy to be able to work with nonprofit organizations and their incredible leaders to help them move forward, have all the funding they need, and make a bigger impact. If you would like tips like these in your email inbox, go to inspirednonprofitleadership.com/sign up. Or if you'd like to be working with me in the room, actually having my help adjusting to that abundance mindset, you can go to pivotground.com/application, answer a few questions about your organization, and we'll see if we're a good fit to work together. Until next time, I will see you then.
You've been listening to Inspired Nonprofit Leadership. Thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode or the bonus episodes. And while you're at it, please leave a rating and review, and be sure to share with your friends and colleagues. Tune in every week for more useful insights and wisdom on nonprofit leadership. Thanks so much for all you do for the communities you serve. Until next time, all the best.